Welcome to November in the Big Ideas Rural membership. This month we are covering eliminating limiting beliefs, fixed and growth mindset, the types of mindset blocks, and having a growth mindset. Simply defined, a limiting belief is a thought that you hold to be true about yourself, about others, or about the world that limits you in some way. Limiting beliefs are the enemy of the healthy mindset and often rear their ugly heads when you're trying to make a positive change in your life. Limiting beliefs often show up as an inability to follow through or a fear to take action and hold countless women back from pursuing their goals and living their best lives. Limiting beliefs affect your mindset. In the Harvard Review, Dr. Dweck suggests that there are two types of mindset. Fixed mindset, which saw people believe talent was something that they either had or lacked, which could not be changed, and a growth mindset, which saw people believe that their talent was something that they could acquire and hone through challenge, learning, and developing new skills. I mean, we should all be working towards a growth mindset, and the fact that you're here and wanting to learn to help your business puts you in a pretty good stature. Dr. Dweck also suggests that those with growth mindset worry less about looking smart and they put more time and energy into learning. She states that often people tend to have some characteristics of both a growth and fixed mindset. The king of business mindset himself, Tony Robbins, said, "Whether the limitations are real or perceived, if we believe them to be holding us back, then they will be." Let's chat about the two types of mindset, fixed or growth. Let's start by looking at some of the terms used by those with a fixed mindset. If you're saying things like, "I'm either good at it or I'm not," "I don't like being challenged," "I feel like feedback is personal," "If you succeed, I feel threatened," "I give up if I find something too difficult." Instead of saying these things, try saying things like this: "I can learn anything I want to. I learn from my failures. I feel like feedback is constructive. I am inspired by the success of others." It can take some work, but it is possible to change from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Without a doubt, mindset affects our actions and behaviors. How we respond to feedback and challenges are based on our mindset that we have, either fixed or growth. Being able to understand the impact it has on our business is essential. Once your business achieves a growth mindset, you are on your way to success. Having a healthy mindset is the first step to a better business. Steve Marboli said that once your mindset changes, everything in the outside will change along with it. So next we're going to chat about the different mindset blocks that your limiting belief system is manifesting or that you may come up against. Tori and I are not trained experts in mindset, but we have experienced and seen our fair share. This is not to say that we don't lapse, but we have strategies in place to shift our mindset to that of growth and positivity. Mindset takes continuous work and it is definitely not a one-off. There are several mindset blocks that you can come across and that may be hindering your business from moving forward. These being imposter syndrome, analysis paralysis, comparison disorder, money mindset, and overwhelm. But we're going to focus on just two of these in this session, imposter syndrome and comparison disorder. Now, most of us in our lives have suffered from imposter syndrome in some form. Even the likes of Albert Einstein and Maya Angelou have gone through it. It can be called imposter phenomenon or fraud syndrome. It's a term that describes the psychological experience of feeling like you don't deserve your success, a fixed mindset. It is not diagnosable syndrome, but those who experience imposter syndrome could experience signs such as perfectionism, overworking, undermining your achievements, fear of failure, and discounting praise. The limiting belief that might be said when experiencing imposter syndrome is, "My abilities determine everything." Sound familiar? It's a fixed mindset. Let's change that limiting belief to, "My effort and attitude determines everything." ImposterSyndrome.com says that the only way to stop feeling like an imposter is to stop thinking like an imposter. It sounds simple, right? Over in the additional resources for mindset, you'll find a link to the 10 steps that you can take to overcome imposter syndrome, written by Dr. Valerie Young. I've taken 3 and put these into steps that you can take today. Number 1, recognize when you should feel fraudulent. If you're one of the first or the few women of a minority in your field or workplace, it is only natural that you'd sometimes feel like you don't totally fit in. Instead of taking self-doubt as a sign of your ineptness, and recognize that it might be a normal response to being an outsider. So number 2 is separate your feelings from fact. There are times that you'll feel stupid. It happens to everyone from time to time. Realize that just because you may feel stupid, it doesn't mean that you are. Number 3, kicking those limiting beliefs to the curb. Develop a new script. Your script is the automatic mental tapes that starts playing in situations that trigger your imposter feelings. When you start a new job or project, instead of thinking, for example, wait till they find out that I have no idea what I'm doing, try thinking, everyone who starts something new feels off base in the beginning. I may not know it all now, but I am smart enough to find them out. If imposter syndrome is something that you think you need help with, head over to this post in the link, or check out some of the other resources suggested to read or listen to. Comparison disorder, also known as obsessive comparison disorder or social comparison disorder. Whatever the name is coined, the definition is fairly well the same. It is that individuals determine their own social and personal worth based on how they stack up against others they perceive as somehow faring better or worse. Psychology Today states that people sometimes compare themselves to others as a way of fostering self-improvement, self-motivation, and positive self-image. We might compare ourselves and others across domains such as attractiveness, wealth, intelligence, and success. These evaluations can promote judgmental, biased, and overly competitive or superior attitudes. Most people have the social skills and impulse controls to keep their standards for social comparison to themselves and not to act on any envy or resentment spurred by comparison making, but one's true feelings may manifest in other ways. Some research shows that people who regularly compare themselves to others often experience feelings of deep dissatisfaction, guilt, or remorse, and engage in destructive behaviors like lying or disorder eating. Let's look at the limiting belief around comparison disorder. If you succeed, I feel threatened. Let's change this from a limiting belief or fixed mindset to a growth mindset term. I am inspired by the success of others. So let's talk some strategies to overcome comparison syndrome or comparison disorder. Unfollow and unfriend. You don't have to follow someone. If every time you see a certain person post that gives you that feeling of being less, then unfollow them. If they're a friend or family and you don't want them to know, well, when was the last time that you sat down and looked at every person who you're friends with or followed you? They are not likely to notice if you unfollow them. Celebrate what you do. This applies for any mindset block. If you celebrate the good things that happen to you, then the praise that you get and the pats on the back that you get are going to make you feel amazing. Have a look at option 1 activity for the daily success chart. Manifestation and mantras. Let's be honest, someone is always going to have a bigger house, better hair, and more money. Use mantras in your daily life to focus on the positive. Use I am affirmations to build your self-esteem, or find out the perfect manifestation quote. One I love is money flows freely and easily to me. We have given you a whole 30 mantras in the resources section. So as a recap, limiting beliefs are the things that you say to yourself when you're experiencing mindset blocks. These are the causes of a fixed mindset rather than a growth mindset. It can be a hard slog retraining your brain to have the growth mindset. We all have days where we have little voices pop into our ears and whisper that I'm not good enough. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't deserve this. I'm not good. I'm not as good as that person. I don't deserve this success. If you it's about finding a strategy that works for you around building your growth mindset, like affirmations, specific statements that help you to overcome self-sabotage, negative thoughts. You can use them as mantras and repeat them to yourself or out loud. Manifestation, this is the act of acting as if it is so. So, ever heard the term fake it until you make it? Manifestation is telling your brain something repeatedly in order for it to feel as if it is so. A couple of examples are, like I said before, money comes freely and easily to me, or wonderful business opportunities come my way. Check out the 30 mindset mantras in the November set of lectures for some other ideas. Finally, I just want to quickly run through the activities that are in November. You have a few options depending on what is suitable for you, what sort of time you have, and how you like to learn. So you may have got a lot from this lecture and you prefer to listen to it over again, which is fine. You can also find an audio form in where you found the lecture. But activity 1 is, think of this as a quick and easy sticker chart for adults. Do a full body reflection and a mindfulness check at the end of each day. You can also use, there's a JPEG version in there that you can save as a photo in your phone and edit it rather than doing a printed version. If you are one that faces crippling moments of self-doubt or feel like you are stuck in quicksand, then an evidence journal is a fantastic option for you, which is option 2. We encourage you to dedicate a beautiful new notebook to your evidence journal, or maybe you could just open up a new note section in your phone. It might be less fun, but it might be more practical. In this designated place, we want you to reflect on some recent big wins, evidence that you are on the right track in your businesses. Every time you have a new win, write it down. If you've been in business for a while, think of a major milestone that you've accomplished. This exercise alone will be very motivating and empowering. This compilation of evidence is there for you when you are having a big moment of self-doubt. So you can reflect on big wins and it will help you drive forward to your next big win in your business. Option 3 is, if you're ending the day with a negative mindset that you didn't accomplish everything on your to-do list, then we would encourage you to sit down and create a done list. So write down all the things that you've done today, whether it be family, personal, side hustle, business, self-care, home. It's important to note all your accomplishments. The next one is 30 days of mindset mantras. So, as mentioned in the previous presentation, affirmations are a positive statement that can help you challenge and overcome self-sabotage and negative thoughts. When you repeat them often and believe in them, you can start to make positive changes. Affirmations are positive statements that can help you change your thoughts and move into a growth mindset. So how to use these mantras? So print them out. There's 2 options. You can either print them out and have a different mantra for each day, put them in a place where you can see them so that you can remind yourself and repeat the mantra in your head or out loud. Or option 2 is a focus challenge. So choose one of the mantras for the week that or the month that you really want to focus on. Print the mantras out and put them somewhere that you'll regularly see as well. Print one or more, depending on how many you think you want to have around the house to remind you. Repeat the mantra in your head, out loud, or at least 3 times a day. These images are also Instagram story size, so please feel free to share them on there and tag at Big Ideas Rural. We also have the additional resources for mindset, so head in there. You can check out the blogs, posts, the podcasts, all the different things that we've popped in there for you guys to check out additional resources. If you have any that you would like to add, please add them in the comment section or pop them into our Facebook group. Don't forget that we love to hear from you guys. So if you're on Instagram, make sure you tag us at Big Ideas Rural. You're already part of our members email list, but if you haven't joined the Rural Compass email list, you can head over to www.theruralcompass.com.au and join the email list there. You can also get in touch with us directly at bigideasrural@gmail.com.